Gettysburg's first and premier podcast about living in and visiting Gettysburg has returned from that long commercial break. Thanks for sticking around. Here's Matt.
Okay, so we are back. I'm going to take my glasses off because, you know, when you get to a certain age and you have to get progressive lenses, you got to do this. And it's like you look like an old person when you have to do that to read something.
You when I got bifocals.
Huh?
I was 18.
Were you? Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
Yeah, so
that's sad.
Stop complaining.
You must have felt like a real loser. So you were doing that your whole life.
Yeah.
Michaux Brewing Company just opened a location here on Baltimore Street in Gettysburg. Dane Murray is the owner and the brewer extraordinaire of Michaux Brewing Company. Welcome to the show, Dane.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Don't be put off by the applause. So Dane, this is not your first location. You have a location down in Waynesboro.
We do, yeah.
How long have you been doing? First of all, how'd you get into brewing? You're the brewer.
I am the brewer. Yeah.
You're the brew master.
Ooh, I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, what's the difference?
A lot of school.
Oh, to be the master, you have to go to school.
Yeah.
To be a brewer, you have to be a lush.
Yes, and find people that will drink your beer.
Yeah. Which isn't really hard to do, right?
Yeah, not so much.
Well, but how'd you get into that?
Started as a home brewer. I got into craft beer shortly after I had some beer and realized that what my friends were drinking about the time I was 21 probably wasn't beer that I wanted to drink. So found some other stuff and really enjoyed it. So got a homebrew kit, started brewing the first batch in my parents' basement and brewed at home for over 12 years and really got into it for a couple of years before we started to put together the brewery idea and a business plan and figure out whether we wanted to actually make a run at opening a brewery or not.
What beers were your friends drinking that you found reprehensible?
No, I won't talk down on them.
Oh, wow. even if they're national brands, like, you know, they've been around for 100 years?
No, as long as people enjoy them, it's what it's all about. I mean,
good for you.
The cool thing about craft, there's a lot of different styles, so you might find something you like, or maybe you stick to your tried and true.
So what's your thing?
I mean, what got me into beer was the hops. I'm a hop head.
You're a hoppy guy.
I am.
Okay, let's get into this, please, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
What the hell is it with, it's a generational thing, by the way, this hop was business. How old are you?
I'm 38.
38, okay. I think it started with, I'm 46, so it started with like kind of my generation, but like the lower end of my generation. People are probably around 40 now, you know, with this hops bullshit. And to me, it tastes, any beer that's very hoppy tastes like the way a new carpet smells.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Now,
and I don't like the smell of new carpet.
Here's the thing.
But what is it with? Here's my theory on IPA people. IPA people just like being contrarians. So they force themselves to learn to basically to numb their taste buds to the offensive taste of the IPA.
Oh my gosh.
and they like the fact that people curl their nose. Wait, let me finish my theory. They like the fact that people curl their nose at them when they say, I love an IPA. And people go, ugh, right? And then they love that because now they're unique. Now they're somebody. Your thoughts?
I've been told I'm not easy to get along with at times.
See? So exactly.
You might be onto something.
I'm telling you, I'm a beer psychologist.
Yeah. It's interesting because everyone has a different perception of what they're smelling and what they're tasting and what they're sensing. And hops, you can have one person it's grapefruit and pineapple and orange. Another person's like, it's cat piss.
Cat piss, that's a good one too.
It's a common one with hoppy beers.
Yeah.
So,
I haven't drank too much cat piss, so I couldn't tell you, but some people apparently have.
I guess so. Yeah. I've not tested that theory myself.
Right.
I take their word for that. Exactly.
So I've recently, but here's the thing. I will give you this. As I get older and my taste buds deaden, when I have an IPA, like a taste of an IPA, I go, okay, only one eye is squinted, right? It's not both of them. So it's like half bad now, which is an improvement because it was all bad before. 10 years ago, all bad. Now, half bad. I could be brought over.
I've never had an IPA.
you've never had
No.
beer.
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have had beer.
I'm a Yingling.
Right. Well,
So I've
by
had
marriage.
Yingling.
But it's spelled differently.
It is, but it was the only one when we went somewhere. And they said, do you want a drink? And I was like, sure. And they're like, what kind of beer do you want? And I was like, I don't know any of the names, so Yingling. And that's the one I
So you knew there was okay.
Yeah.
And what did you think of it?
I mean, it's really, it's okay cold, but as soon as it starts to get warm, I'm not a fan anymore.
Yeah, most beers kind of gross warm. Okay. So where were we going? What were we talking about right before we got into Yinglings? Oh, she's never had a beer, right? Now IPA, that's what it was. All right, that's a big one. You like the hoppy stuff. What else do you make? What's your most popular beer?
Yeah, so we don't have core beers that we have on draft at all time. So we rotate, and that's part of what excites me about craft beer. There's different stuff. In a little over 2 years, I think we've done nearly 100 different beers that we've released, with some of those being around more times than once. Our top seller all time is a hazy IPA. It's called Yellow Birch, 6.3%. And it, believe it or not, resonates with a wide age range. I got my father-in-law into IPA, who was a Miller Lite guy for decades upon decades. And through drinking that beer, he's kind of branched out into other IPA. But that's our number one seller. Our number two seller all times, Kolsch, which is a German style. That's similar to a lager. So for our light beer drinkers that are used to domestic stuff, it's kind of their gateway into some of that. Yeah.
Now the thing I do like about craft breweries is that, like you just said, you don't have the same thing on tap all the time. It's like seasonal, I guess, is what you do, right?
Yeah, and seasonal, or what the brewer's thirsty for at that time.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. But I like that because, especially when you do it seasonally, in the winter, I want more stouts or like barley wine or something like that. And in the summer, I want something light, like a wheat beer or a Kolsch or what's the other thing I like? You wouldn't know. Yeah. But like the lighter stuff.
That makes
not an IPA.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Like drinking things that are. Now, here's my question. Okay. So if somebody like myself were to come into you and say, I have never had any of these before, what would you start them on?
We start with our fruited beers. So whether it's a shandy that's going to have lemon,
those are good.
Yeah, might be like right now we have a watermelon shandy on. That's a good introduction, or a fruited sour. Those, even for our domestic beer drinkers, they may not like the lager that we have because it's not what they're used to. So we might go the avenue of a fruited sour because it tastes like a cocktail or a dessert, something that you're familiar with that doesn't really taste like beer.
All right, so I'm an old guy, right? So to me, beer is either beer or light beer, right? And my father owned a liquor store, so when I was in my 20s, I worked there, and then all these like other things started coming out. Not that they didn't exist in the world before, but they suddenly started getting into the American market, or at least this is the way I remember it or see the history of it going. And I remember Honey Brown. Do you remember Honey Brown?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. And I was kind of like, why do we need to doctor up beer? And it's the same thing with the hard liquors. Like, why do I need orange vodka? Why can't I just pour orange juice in vodka if I need that, right?
Oh.
And I thought, that's a screwdriver, that's called. Yeah. We got to teach you how to drink. What's that called?
It's a delicious drink.
It is a good, yeah, you don't even notice it. If you use a good vodka, you don't even notice it.
I thought that was a mimosa.
No, that's champagne.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's suitable for breakfast.
It is. Yeah. So is a screwdriver or a tequila sunrise. All right. So the I didn't understand why we needed to adulterate our liquor. Well, I guess it's obviously to get the people who were lightweights to start drinking the hard stuff, right? It's like, oh, it tastes like cough medicine. Well, here's some honey in it, or here's some this in it, or whatever. And now you've got all these flavored vodkas. I don't like it. I don't understand it. I noticed then with beer, when the craft beers start coming out, same thing. And at first, the old man in me was just like, what do I need s'mores stout for? Just give me a regular old stout. Then you try it and you're like, oh, that's good. That is really good. Okay, so you get an idea. I'm not going to ask you how you get an idea because everybody gets ideas differently. So you have an idea for a new flavor, okay? Let's say, do you do like a s'mores stout or something like that, or some chocolatey or...
Yeah, we've done similar stuff to it before.
Okay. How do you get it to what do you do to get it to taste like a s'mores or a whatever, a Snickers or an Almond Joy, or like, how the hell do you do? Do you actually throw a bunch of them in there? And
you can.
You can?
You can, yeah.
All right, explain the process to me, because this is fascinating.
There are certain flavors that are really hard to get to come through. One of those being graham crackers, because you got to figure out what a graham cracker actually is.
Right.
It's predominantly wheat and sugar, but how does it taste better than bread?
Right. Why does it taste like graham?
Exactly. Yeah. And then you kind of got to break down the components of what you can actually put in beer by law and what actually is going to be good for the beer putting in that's not going to destroy it or spoil whenever it's sitting in the keg or the can. And you got to kind of break it down to its base ingredients and kind of think back of what you want the final flavor to be and what raw ingredients you're going to use from there. So graham cracker is a nightmare, and it sticks around for a while. You can get artificial, but it's going to taste artificial.
Yeah, it'll taste.
Yeah. Some of the more natural flavors, chocolate's fantastic to work with because there's so many forms. Coconut's great. Anytime you're dealing with fat content, it can make the beer maybe not look so appetizing. You don't get the nice foam that sticks around on top of it. Nuts are pretty decent, but you got to be concerned about allergens. So you really have to think about all the variables at play there. And a lot of it is blending in a tank. And once you get to that point, you're looking for that flavor profile you're going for, of adding more of this, more of that. There's some brewers that use some really unique ingredients to mimic things like maple syrup, which is another nightmare to work with.
Why is that?
The flavor doesn't carry well. It in beer is going to either ferment out if you add it before fermentation's done, and it just raises the alcohol content and kind of taste woody through that profile, or you add it at the end, and
I had no idea it was this complicated.
Yeah, no, it's a science.
It is.
Yeah, that's why a brewmaster has to go to school.
Okay, so now the only thing I'm good at is baking in the food world, okay? So if you do this for a living and you were talking about flavor profiles and things like that. So if somebody came up to you and said, taste this and tell me what it needs, are you able to do that?
I've gotten pretty good with being a critic on most things food or beverage related. Yeah.
And your sweetheart is okay with you saying it?
Yeah.
This is horrible.
Yeah. That's the only way you get better.
That's how you improve.
I don't know. I smack Mark around a little bit when he tells me that stuff.
Not saying that doesn't happen to me too. I'm still going to say it. But yeah, I mean, there's certain things that are tough to work with, and it is kind of like being a pastry chef. Sometimes if you're going for a pastry stout or pastry sour, you might need more vanilla. So that's going to come from bean or up to the amount of extract you're allowed to use, or marshmallow, which is sugar, egg whites, which don't really work well in beer, and some vanilla there as well. So you got to pick apart the flavors, and you got to figure out how you want them to layer on the palate as well. S'mores, it can't hit you all at once, or else you're going to miss it. So you want chocolate finishing with maybe some sweetness and that graham to kind of linger around.
And there's a way, like a firework, like how they can make a firework do all things in different. You can formulate it in a way where I will taste things in the order that you want them to.
I did bring a sample along of a fruited sour. I think kind of hits you at different points throughout it. It's going to go from sweet to sour. You're going to get a marshmallow up front. It's going to finish with some berry and then clean itself up with its acidity at the end of it. So I think it's kind of cool how flavors can play off each other, but kind of stay out of the way of each other so they can all be noticed.
But that order of tastes that you just described to me, you said ahead of time, this is what I want it to do, and you were able to formulate it and make it do that, or you formulate it and put it all together, and then you taste it and you go, oh, I detect that I'm hitting marshmallows hitting me first, and this, then blah, 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 blah. Like, how does that work?
it was a happy accident. So that's how it came through. That was not my intent whatsoever, but I'm like, all right, you start tasting through a beer and you notice different layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but that's art, right? It's a happy accident. That's how it works.
I'm excited to see if I taste it in that way. Because I cannot.
It might be overwhelming for you because you don't drink often.
Maybe.
You might as well let me drink it all. All right, now let me ask you this, though, because you mentioned the sours, and we have a sour here. So this is something, you said a hazy IPA before and sours. Okay. Hazy IPA. It's hazy.
Yeah.
What is the haze?
Ooh,
and what is the purpose of the haze?
Yeah.
What causes it?
It's a good question. There's a lot of interesting information out there on that. I mean, the trend's been around for over a decade now, and it's, overtook the market, and we're seeing a little bit of pullback from some of the IPA drinkers going back to clear IPA and stuff like that. But the haze is caused for a number of different reasons in the beer, from the interaction of the polyphenols of the hops that are present with the yeast strains that you select, the high dry hopping rates. You're dumping in pounds and pounds of pellets per barrel or 31 gallons of beer into these things. You're literally pushing as much hop character into these as you can, and those stick around. Sometimes it's yeast that's held in suspension if it's not fully dropped out during the conditioning process. People's approaches to making hazy IPA have changed, but really it's a product of the interaction of the malt, the hops, the yeast, the water profile that a brewer is selecting for that particular style as well. There's a lot that goes into play with that.
So when that came about, was that a happy accident, or was that something that had always been done that was just brought back about 10 years ago?
No, there's been hazy beer throughout history, ideally.
But would that have been considered not good?
Yeah, it was frowned upon by a lot of West Coast brewers.
So it was like impure?
Yeah, the beer wasn't finished. It needed to be clarified, or it wasn't conditioned enough, or it was just the yeast causing, or they were adding flour, like bread flour.
Just to make it look that way?
Just to make it look that way for something different. But it's kind of a reaction of all those things, and some of the water that was being used in the Northeast where they were kind of starting this whole style.
Sewage, basically, is what you're saying, from the Northeast.
It was delicious sewage.
This is quite fascinating.
It is. No, it is. It's so have you, okay, so then the sours, we went to a brewery once, and Cindy got a sour, and I tasted it, and it was
sour.
But it reminded me of what were those candies?
Warheads. Like Sweet Tarts or Warheads.
Sweet Tarts or Warheads, yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay, I could see why people would like these. It's not as it's not offensive to my taste buds like an IPA is. Okay, and so it's kind of, would you say desserty or candy-like? It's not really desserty, right? Because it's not.
It can be.
It can be.
I think it all depends on each brewery's or brewer's approach to sours. Some we just like to highlight one fruit. We might go with raspberry, or we try to mimic a cocktail like a pina colada or a Bahama Mama, or we go dessert approach and we make black cherry Oreo cheesecake. And do something like that. So,
all right, stop at the black cherry Oreo cheesecake.
Yeah,
all right, now how would you make, what would you do to make that? And how does that, what goes into that? And what
and can
makes
we have some?
That's a once a
Did
year,
you bring any with you?
No.
And what makes that a sour? Like, I guess, what is the difference between a sour and an IPA? Yeah, you got me.
Yeah, so IPA is really 4 ingredients. It's your malt, it's your water, yeast, and hops. Whereas the sours, we kettle sour everything. So it sours through lactic acid production. We use a yeast strain that produces it, so it creates that acidic tartness. And from there, once it finishes its acidification, it ferments out the sugars into converting into alcohol. And then we have a base. It's a neutral palate. It kind of tastes kind of like a nice bright lemon lime, like a nice citrus character to it. And then we add the fruits. For a black cherry Oreo cheesecake, it's hundreds of pounds of black cherry puree. Then we literally use crumbled Oreos. And then,
so you really do put Oreos in there?
A lot of Oreos.
What do you do?
Yeah, like enough
double stuffed?
They're crumbled. I crumbled it the first year, and when you're crushing nearly 100 pounds of Oreos, is what we used for that one the first time. It's a lot. So you buy them pre-crumbled. It's worth the extra couple dollars.
There you go.
And there's dehydrated cream cheese powder. So you add those three things together, blend it in a tank. It comes out tasting like liquid black cherry Oreo cheesecake.
All right. So
That's
you
awesome.
put it in the tank, you blend it in the tank. What is the process, the chemical process that's going on or whatever?
Yeah.
In the tank.
Most of the magic happens with the yeast, really. It's awesome that it produces that acidic brightness to it. And it also ferments all those fermentable sugars from the brewing process into the alcohol. And from there, we transfer into a second tank that's already been loaded with all the puree, the Oreos, the cream cheese powder, and then we just use a pump to circulate it until it's blended, integrated, and homogenized. So that whenever we go to fill our kegs or cans, everybody's getting all those fruits, the Oreo pieces, the cream cheese in each drink that they take.
Wow. This is quite fascinating. I didn't know all of this.
So you didn't think it would be so
No.
interesting, did you?
Well-
she was like, who wants to talk to a brewer?
I had never once said that. Never
She
once said
She
that.
didn't say that at all.
So now can let's talk about the business side of things. So you keep saying we.
Yes.
Who's we?
My wife and I are the founders and owners of Michaux Brewing Company.
Okay. So you do it as a couple.
We do. Yeah.
That's so cute.
Well, she keeps a day job, and this is her second and third full-time jobs as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
How adorable. Mark
Yeah.
and I would kill each other.
So we haven't got that close yet.
Yeah, she has a day job. She's not with him all the time.
Right.
Oh,
She
it
gets to
doesn't
skate
matter.
For 40 hours a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and what made you decide to move from Waynesboro, where I'm assuming you live,
Yes.
and then to come to Gettysburg? Because that is a commute.
A little bit. It's a half hour. I worked in Adams County for 13 years, so I was familiar with the area, working less than 15 minutes from where our tap room's located at now. And really, we moved back from college. We both went to Penn State. State College has an awesome downtown area. And, we started visiting Gettysburg a lot and really enjoyed coming over here and experiencing the history, the downtown, places to eat, drink, and I always had a spot for it. Looked for some real estate when we were buying a house over this way, but ultimately settled after having 3 kids close to parents. Otherwise,
you need the babysitter.
Shenanigans happen, yeah.
You don't have a babysitter.
3 kids, huh?
3 kids, yeah.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah.
But by all before 40. Good for you. I haven't had one yet. Probably won't have any.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I have a dog.
They're good too. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. You can leave them alone in a cage all day and not go to jail.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you live here or you're in the Waynesboro area?
We live in Waynesboro.
You live in Waynesboro.
Yeah, so
That's a nice area.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're close to a lot of stuff.
You are. And it's pretty. There's pretty areas down there.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
is.
And that's where your main location is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one more thing, there's food now starting. It started last week at the Gettysburg location.
That is correct.
All right, tell us about the food.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
And I might ask you a favor after, depending on what the answer is. The question is, how late are you open for food?
8:00 every day.
Favor is Thursday nights. Can you maybe stay up until 9 so that we could try it after the show? Because we go out to dinner after the show.
I get it. Yeah. Let me get back to you on that one.
And let me ask you another question. Here, I don't know if this is a question or if it's an observation or just a piece of advice, but I hear from a lot of visitors because of what I do, and people from the audience visit and all that. And the number one complaint, and I'm telling you, the person who does the opposite of everybody else in this case will do a little better. The biggest complaint is everybody closes their kitchen at 8:00. Okay. The sidewalks roll up between 5 and 8 every night. There's nothing to do. People are looking for things to do. People eat late for whatever reason. People want to go eat. They want to have a drink. They want to have something with their food. What the dilly? And will you listen to the people and be a man of the people.
And by the people, Matt.
And by the people, I mean me, because I'll be like, hey, everybody, guess what's open after 8 o'clock when everybody else is closed?
Show them the cup.
What? Oh. We have
this
a cup
is our
here,
red Solo cup,
and in it is names of places to go and eat after the show. Because here's what happened. Everybody would go, "Where are we going to eat?" To me, and finally I said, "Hey, listen, I'm sick of having to make all the decisions. You guys tell me just once. You tell me what we're doing," and that lasted all of a minute. And so finally we had to get this thing here. But I would throw this out. I would throw this out, and it would be Michaux Brewing. All the way. If you would only on Thursdays stay open till 9.
Only on Thursdays.
Only on Thursdays. So my answer to that question would be we're going to walk before we run. So
yeah, they did just
Thursdays.
open.
Just Thursdays, yeah. Let us get our feet wet. And
all right, I'll let you get your feet wet, but here's a suggestion I might make. Open an hour later and stay open till 9.
There were some
only on Thursdays.
There were some thirsty folks at noon today that were ready to get in the door.
Open the kitchen at 1. Yeah, open for drinks at noon. I know that's lunch. Yeah, I get it. I close between 2 and 4.
Okay.
For siesta.
For your siesta.
For who though?
For lunch. For food. Food.
If
you get a nap.
I was gonna say if I get the siesta, then I might consider.
Well, yeah, you're the boss. Okay.
Yeah, you're in charge.
Make everybody else work for you. Say I'm gonna go take a nap in the back on this stack of sacks of barley, and you guys take over. Kitchen's closed until 4 or 5, whatever you want. We'll talk.
Okay. He'll give you a whole business plan.
Yeah. Based around my desires.
So what made you, I know a lot of the businesses in Gettysburg kind of come and go sometimes. Mm-hmm. So locations become open and close almost, it feels like daily. So what made that location be the one that you were like, this is it?
We have since day one worked with some of the other Gettysburg craft producers. We're close to Plowman Cider, right around the corner on the square. We worked with Mason-Dixon Distillery, and we really like that center square, the historic district down there area. And we were actually delivering to Plowman Cider, who's carried us on draft for pretty much the entire time we've distributed kegs to outside tap rooms or restaurants, and just happened to walk around the corner from where we were parked at that day after dropping off kegs and saw a for lease sign. And we've been looking elsewhere throughout Gettysburg, and just kind of my wife and I were together on that delivery run and looked at each other and said, that's the spot. Not knowing what it costs or anything like that at that point in time. But we saw, open space. We saw high ceilings. We saw the square from where we were standing at. And
it's a good spot where you are.
It is a good spot.
Yeah. We had an hour car ride after that. And I think we figured out 10 minutes in that if we were going to do Gettysburg, that was going to be the spot that we were going to do it in. Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned Mason-Dixon, and that reminded me, one of the trends I'm seeing in beers and wines that I like is the beer or the wine is in like aged bourbon barrels or something like that. Cause that's like the best of both worlds. Mm-hmm. Then I don't have to mix my alcohol. I get the taste of bourbon, the hint of bourbon in my beer, or my wine. And what do you have any like that?
We do, yeah. So when we opened our doors, we released our 16-month rum barrel aged Baltic Porter that we aged in a Mason-Dixon rum barrel, and beer came out nice. It's a dark lager that we had conditioned for a number of months, sat in one of Yanni's barrels, and came out beautifully. I think a good representation of both the beer style and also the barrel character and the spirit that he put into it. We do a number of other ones as well, but that's what we released for our Gettysburg opening.
That's nice.
Well,
a nice combo.
What, Colby?
I was asking, did the beer come out to have like a little bit of a sweet taste?
It did pick up some sweetness from the rum. Baltic Porter's a little bit sweet because of its high ABV. Went in the barrel at 8%, came out above 9% from picking up some of the spirits that were, ingrained in the wood at that point, and a little bit of sweetness from that rum. Wasn't inherently sweet beer whenever we had it fresh on draft, but cool character from the barrel for sure. The rum just smacks you in the face as soon as you take your nose to the glass.
Yeah, that's nice.
I have never I have a very good friend of mine that I used to work with who is a connoisseur of craft beers as well. Wonderful, wonderful human. But I think because he knows I'm not a drinker, like he doesn't talk to me about this kind of stuff. He'll just be like, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. This is kind of how he talks to me. However, I've never actually heard somebody talk about the science of it before. And it is quite fascinating. Mm-hmm. I could listen to you talk about that for quite a while. That's actually really interesting.
Before we get on to the samples that you brought, we did a poll in the comments section. Will you try Michaux on your next visit to town? 100% of the people said yes.
That's the way it should be.
Yes.
You have some experienced drinkers in your audience.
I'm telling you, they're alcoholics. Yeah. They're all talking about beer. Somebody says, which beer is worse, Canadian or American? Got to be Canadian. And then somebody says they're tied, good and bad on both sides. Oh, that's too nice. That's too nice it's Canadian, right?
I can't remember the last time I had a great Canadian beer.
That's my point.
There's drinkable
Somebody
ones.
says Michaux is legit, fantastic all around.
So then who was that? Darren, he's already been there then. That tells me that Darren's already been there. So that's good.
Go.
That's good.
This is a decent Canadian beer.
What?
Molson's or
Molson?
Yeah.
Molson Olson?
I think that's
Merlin Olson?
I used to have it at the hockey rink.
Yeah, no, Molson was good when you didn't know any better.
Did he just say they used to have it at the hockey rink when I was little? Did he just say that?
No, when I was going to say when I was living in Florida, but then I said living.
When he was little.
I thought you said when I was little, and I was like, how do you know?
Well, I mean, I would have known when I was little too. I was a little deviant.
They got to be as cold as the Canadian winter. I mean, that's the best way to drink a Canadian
There you go.
beer.
Yeah, that's right. Where it's too cold to actually get any flavor.
Look, he's bringing out a cooler.
So you got a cooler here. All right, this is very exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Colby, if you want to go to the overhead there, so we could see the whole process here. So Bethany's nervous. We're gonna
because what if I don't say the right thing?
No, it doesn't matter. Just look,
just drink the whole thing, and you'll be all right.
Don't spill anything.
We have options.
We have options. All right, what do we have? What are our options here?
So I brought along our two newest releases this week, which were our Fest beer and our American Style Oktoberfest. I brought along an IPA, which you'll probably hate.
I love it.
Yeah. I brought along that triple berry marshmallow fruited kettle sour.
Oh, nice.
All right, well then let's try a little of each here. So here's what we'll do. Open a can and show it to the camera so people can see the label. Who does the labels?
That's your
this camera right
I do
here.
all the label design. We get our labels printed locally in Hagerstown through Hub Labels.
There you go. So you just hold it right there. That's good. And turn it around a little bit there. Okay. Ooh. So this is the Oktoberfest we're going to try first.
Trying out the Fest beer. The common Oktoberfest style now, a little bit lighter.
Okay.
They became lightweights.
This would be, for Bethany, the newbie here, this would be the least heavy tasting. It's the lightest of the beers, right?
It's going to taste like beer. Yeah.
All right. So this is going to taste like beer, Beth. Okay.
Okay.
Now, please.
Someone's going to have to go get this.
I'm just going to say now, you spill on my equipment. I own
part of
the brewery. I've become a partner.
0.001%. Yeah.
Whatever. 0.001% of $1 million is better than zero of nothing. Or 100% of nothing is what I mean here. All right, Bethany's going to take
these are heavy. I thought they were plastic.
Okay, no, they're not. All right, let's get a close-up of Bethany's face here. She tries her first beer.
Here, we'll go to her.
Go to Beth.
Go to her.
Go ahead, Beth.
Right. Are we doing it together?
Yeah, Bethany. No, you're gonna do it first so that we can see what it looks like. Am I supposed to
do anything special like when you do wine?
You can.
Yeah.
Like
what is it? Yeah, smell it first. Beer. What does it smell like?
Stick your nose in there.
Like beer.
All right, go ahead, Beth.
Don't play the music.
Oh, sorry.
Don't play the music.
All right.
Okay. It tastes like beer.
Like beer. All right, let me try it now. Smells like beer. Oh, the lush in the back wants some too. Sure,
you can't be passing out booze and not bringing.
If you want to take the can back and let everybody try, you got the solo cups back there, right? This is good.
Yeah, it's
This
good.
is really nice.
I mean, that
good.
style is designed to be their all-day drinking beer at Oktoberfest.
And I would drink this all day.
Yeah. You can tell that. And
but I've had Oktoberfest before at craft microbreweries, and I'll tell you, they're not as good as this. And I'm not just bullshitting you because you're in front of me.
It's good stuff.
This is good stuff. Yeah.
If you didn't drink it all day, it's got to be drinkable.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, not everybody believes that apparently. All right, what's next?
We're about to have some fun. This would be
Debbie, you're driving me to dinner.
Yeah.
This is the original Oktoberfest style, Märzen style. They would traditionally brew this in March and then pulled out for
Careful.
First time pouring a beer here.
Yeah.
This is AG.
Yeah.
Listen with me.
Okay, no, wait.
Go to Beth first.
What is this again?
Märzen. It would be a amber German style lager.
So more like the Yingling.
Yeah, closer to Yingling.
Okay.
I'll salute with them and me.
It tastes like, a lager.
All right. Here we
Okay.
go.
That's like more like a Yingling flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to have a more malty character.
I got
Do you know what I love about you?
Okay.
Oh wow!
Here we go.
You're in the I love you, man phase already.
It was at like 3 ounces.
about you.
You gave me a beginner's amount and you gave him a real amount. That was very sweet of you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I love about you too. All right, yeah. Well, let me just rinse this out here so I'm not
No, I'm good.
Cross-contaminating. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I feel like I'm cross-contaminating too.
Oh, you want to rinse?
Yeah.
All right, this is copper water.
Oh, good. Now I'm going to die of...
Copper poisoning. All right, so what else have we got now? What is the next one?
We have
was
hazy
good.
IPA. That'd be the...
Oh, I'm excited to try
Yes.
this.
Now this I've never tried the hazy IPA. Perhaps this will be the IPA I end up liking.
It's a lot of pressure.
I know.
So what makes you choose the names? How do you choose the names?
Lost Creek's one of the trails that I ride in Michaux State Forest. I mountain bike and gravel bike. I ride Southern Michaux good bits. Cool trail, nice connector trail between some of my other favorites. And honestly, beer names come to me whenever I'm sitting on my bike or whenever I'm sitting on the lawnmower. So
It's amazing. And this is, you are an artist, you know that, right?
Ooh, I got a flavor at the end there.
Did you burp?
No.
I think I just did. Did I burp in the mic? I'm sorry.
No.
You're
like
never
suddenly-
sorry about that.
Well, in the
this
mic.
smells
You did have a
different.
stroke.
it does,
This smells
it should
different.
smell way different. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Beth.
Oh, let's get it
Okay.
in there. Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's very different
Is a G.
than the other two.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen with
It's good though.
All right,
I
let's
like
see.
it.
This is a G.
Okay, so now I'm getting that new carpet
Yeah.
smell.
I see what you're talking about. It's like a citrusy thing though.
A G.
To me.
But like when you chew the rind, like when you eat the skin of the lemon instead of the meat of the lemon. It's very, okay, this is not bad. See, something's happened to me.
You were on point with the new carpet smell.
I'm telling you.
I never.
Listen, I'm
never
very
put
good.
that together.
Stop offending the guests.
I'm not offending the guests
great.
because I recognized that smell years before I met this guy. Okay? I'm telling you.
I just have never put it together like that.
I'm very good with pinpointing smells and, movie characters that people look like or sound like or act like. Also sounds. But this, I have to tell you something here.
I actually do like that.
Yeah, this isn't bad at
It's
all.
easy. It's not very
I
biting
don't
on the
dislike
hot
this
side.
in the least. Like, I actually, now that you guys are saying citrusy, it's, you know what it is? It's like a grapefruit.
Yes.
It's a common citrus fruit.
Yeah.
Except it's not as like sour as a grapefruit or bitter, I guess. It's like
Well, because it's diluted with all the other stuff, but.
But there's the problem I have with drinking heavy.
All right,
IPAs.
hold on. I'm sorry, Colby. I didn't mean to interrupt you like that, but this is more important. I might actually not be so against IPAs now. What is this? What type of IPA is this?
That's
a hazy
Yeah,
IPA.
7% hazy IPA.
Does the haziness kill the...
So yeah, the whole profile of it's softer.
Oh, but you're on the wrong camera, dingbat.
I'm multitasking here, bro. Trying to get this thing lined up.
He's trying to show the camera in the back, and he has that one on.
My apologies.
Oh man!
Jeez, all right. He was drunk before he got here. All right. So this next one, the last one here. Now this is the desserty one, right?
Triple berry marshmallow.
Triple berry marshmallow. All the
Okay.
yeah. So I heard Bethany is excited. I heard
Cindy just
Debbie
did a dance.
Oh, Cindy did that. Okay.
Ooh, look
right.
at it. It's pretty too. Ooh.
Wait.
Yeah. Don't forget to show everybody
Show
the
the
label.
can.
Yeah.
Show the can.
Gotcha.
Show your cans.
He's pouring.
What about?
Oh,
I have beer all over my legs.
I
Bo.
see
Keep
that.
away
What
from
is
the can.
going on?
don't. So you
First
got
time
to
pouring
back
beer.
up there so it's in focus. There you go.
What's
right
it
where you
called?
are. Yeah.
Pucker?
There we go.
Yeah, pucker moments are
Pucker moments. I like that.
fruited sour. One of our fruited.
That is
sour
a very
lines.
interesting. Wait, let me see that logo.
It's puckered lips.
I understand. Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually named after
I understand.
the pucker moments you get mountain biking when you think you're going to eat it or go over the
Oh wow!
handlebars. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
smell it. That's a completely. Which one? What?
Triple berry marshmallow. So
you
it's
can smell.
raspberry, blueberry,
I was going to say
strawberry.
it smells like raspberries. Oh my
Yeah, that's
Lanta.
enjoyable to sniff.
This is unfortunate.
You sound like Darth Vader.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were watching me. All right, let's taste it now.
That's the way you do it.
This is the one I like.
Oh, that's good. Oh, and it's hitting me now.
And
The
it
sour.
hits you with this.
Oh, look at that. So do people come into the brewery and they get this and they're all like doing this, or do they get used to the taste? It's like
I don't know, man.
those candies.
Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
That's exactly what it's like.
Yes.
This is nice. I like this
I
one.
like this one. Cindy, you like it? You like the sours?
She's loving it, dude.
Is she?
She's loving it.
I love it.
You do?
Yeah. And it smells like Fruity Pebbles.
It does. Oh, it does smell like
does.
Fruity Pebbles.
Matt,
Oh, I do like that.
I really don't let my face.
do your jaw muscles tingle right now?
Yeah,
No,
my jaw muscles.
I'm
tingle.
salivating a lot though. This is good though. Damn, I like this.
Oh, you think?
I got to tell you something. You're onto something here, kid. How long have you been doing this?
We've been in for a little over 2 years.
Better than the first.
A little over 2 years.
Yeah.
That's
The sour.
so. I knew somebody who was a brewer a long time ago, and he would bring samples and stuff, and it wasn't bad at all.
I don't know which one.
But there was always a little bit of, I'm just going to stick with the positives, but I don't have anything negative to say about any of these. Like there
Yeah.
isn't, right? And you're not a beer drinker at
No,
all.
this was very good.
All of them though. What'd you think of all of them? Which is your favorite?
So the first one, I understand the whole what you said about it being an everyday beer because it does just kind of taste like quintessential beer.
Yeah.
You do have the
Leave Quint out of it.
but
From
this
Jaws.
this I really like.
Yeah.
The one that we just had. And then the IPA I actually liked. I don't know. I understand what he's saying, but what he equates to new carpet smell, I equate to citrus.
But once you said that, then I caught a whiff and I was like, oh, not grasshopper, grapefruit. Grasshopper. I don't know where I got that from. Grapefruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think I'm going to give IPAs another chance now because that was not at all offensive to my taste buds the way they normally are.
Yeah.
So maybe
that was fine.
something's changed in my tongal region.
I could see that would be dangerous.
Oh, that's
It can be. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be Bethany on the floor. Yeah.
well. That's the problem. You can't have the things that taste like dessert or like a sweet treat. You can't have a lot of those.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
I like this Oktoberfest beer, man.
That's my favorite beer. I look forward to brewing every year and drinking.
That's really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ah, God! I wish you were open past 8 o'clock for dinner. But you know what? I'm going to come in there. You're open at lunchtime every day.
Yeah, we open at noon every day.
Good.
Are
you there every day? Who's there every day?
I'm in and out. We got 2 locations, so
Yeah.
I like to spread my time between the 2 and also still make some beer and see the family every now and again.
He likes to actually see his kids.
How do you do that?
It's a good question.
I mean, that's a lot to juggle.
We get to a Sunday evening and we just kind of wonder how we did it that week and how we're going to do it this coming week.
That's nice. And then you still manage to get your mountain biking in and all that other stuff.
Every now and again, yeah.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Listen, I wish you all the best with
Thank
this.
you.
I really do. I think it's delicious. And anybody in the audience that's listening and you like beer, you have to try this place. Parking, of course, is a bitch because you're right near the square. So, once you've found a place to park, make sure if it's metered that you have $40 in quarters on you, or you use the app and you spend your $40, and that'll give you 30 minutes of parking, and you can go in and enjoy a beer at Michaux Brewing Company. What's the address, please, sir?
15 Baltimore Street.
15 Baltimore Street.
Wow, it's legit when you're below a 3-digit number.
Yeah, when you're right there.
Yeah.
Right there off the square, you are in some elite company. Let me tell you.
Yes.
And excuse me, sorry, I have a couple of sour sips, and I'm getting hoarse.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling very flushed.
Are you really?
Yes.
I'm really putting it on.
Somebody's catching a buzz over there. Sound
All right, 15 Baltimore Street. They've got food until 8 o'clock.
Wait.
What?
Before you go, somebody asked, do you offer flights?
You can do 5-ounce pours.
They're not an airport.
You can do 5-ounce pours at any of the beers we have on. If you want to do 1, that's fine. If you want to try all 12, have at it.
There you go.
They have 12.
Yeah, 12 beers
Yeah.
on draft.
We only got 4.
Try to lure you in for the other 8.
Can we drink past 8, or are you closed altogether at 8?
No, we're open until 10 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays. Yeah.
Well, why don't we just get a snack at Sheets and then go drink tonight?
There's no way in
Oh,
God's
he said
green
Friday,
earth.
Saturday.
Reservation.
Oh, he said Friday, Saturday?
He
Friday,
did.
Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't listen when people talk. All right, listen, I really don't. Well, so we're gonna go now because that was great. That was fantastic. Thank you very much for bringing those samples in. Really, truly, all the best to you. I hope you have a great success here in Gettysburg. And we'll be right back after these words, ladies and
Been
gentlemen.
craving a Hot Pocket or a bag of popcorn? Now's the time to go and get it. We'll be right back.
Catch full episodes of AG Today live every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern to keep up with everything that's going on in Gettysburg and with the Addressing Gettysburg community.